statute, in their rules. And I would argue here today that that's what we did. We're protecting the state of Alabama, and we have a rule for provisional. If you want us to modify that, I am certainly open to your direction and ideas. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
Alrighty, Representative Simpson, you have the floor.
Since we're going on the dialogues, I want to go on a dialogue here, and this is my problem with what we have, and this is why I don't trust you.
You don't trust me, sir?
No, you asked earlier if I trusted you, and I said no, I don't, and this is why I don't. This board has receipts as of the 2022 fiscal year of $825,880. Of that expenditure, $420,000 goes to Smith Warren, and you have a contract not to exceed $110,000.
Yes,
so
sir.
we're talking professional services about $530,000, which is almost over half of what this board goes to.
Sir, I can't speak
I'm
to
finished. I let you talk. This is my turn to talk. You know statutorily, and you have known since 2012, that statutorily the board did not have the legal authority for the $75 fee. Have known it. And you've talked about the legislation, and we've gone through the legislation that you've tried to pass and the reasons that has not passed. I'm not here to talk about the reasons that has not passed. You have known you do not have the statutory authority to do this. Yet still, after being brought out in 2018 at the 2018 Sunset Committee, where we said this is a significant issue, you do not have the authority to do this. As you stand here today, you are still offering a fee and taking a fee from contractors, from electrical contractors, that you have no statutory authority to do, and over half of the money that this board receives goes to professional services for you and Mr. Warren. So yeah, that's my concern with what we have here, because you have the hard everyday worker that has to get this requirement to get this fee to go through, and their fees are just going to administrative costs and going to these outrageous fees of $35,000 a month plus a $10,000 a month for legal services through there. So our responsibility is to look out for not only the law that is clearly not being followed in this case, but also the constituents and the members of the people that live in the state of Alabama, to make sure there's not some rogue board charging a rogue fee that they don't have authority for, that the board and the administration for the board puts into their pocket.
Thank you, sir. Do I have any board members that would like to address?
Let's hold on just a second if we could. I wasn't here.
Barfoot, Senator, I can't speak to any other fees but my own.
Right.
I have nothing to do with what the board votes to expend in fees.
Give me just a second. I'd like to be either myself or the co-chair call somebody up and give them an opportunity. But any other questions along the lines, and I apologize, I have to go let them know they're on the floor. So back now, any other questions or comments along the lines of what Representative Simpson was asking? If not, if anybody in the audience wants to address that, give an explanation, be glad to hear from them.
We will suspend that fee effective immediately. We will call an emergency meeting of the board and suspend that fee immediately.
And I apologize again, maybe I went over this, but what if it's easy enough to suspend the fee now, why has that not been done prior to, with an acknowledgement that it's, unlawful?
Legal representation, when we were discussing this, because of the number of complaints and investigations that are performed for provisional licensees, and at the last sunset when we were talking about this, and Senator Coleman Madison was present and was aware of the conversation, and to answer your question, no one has said stop.